Hello everybody, my name is Alexis Campos and I will be closing today for our argument in the court. So first of all, I will be starting with the history of arson. Before that, I'm just going to go over the definition of arson based off the Arizona State Legislature. I'm going to be reading off my tablet that I wrote some notes on. So to begin, the Arizona State Legislature Statute 13-1704 states that a person commits arson of an occupied structure by knowingly, willingly, and unlawfully damaging an occupied structure by causing fire or an explosion. So this could be anywhere from setting an entire building off with a bomb or lighting a piece of tissue on fire that can spread around the building. Moving forward, we're going to be talking about what the history of arson is and how it's evolved today over time. So to start off, back in the ancient times, arson was typically used as a means of war, a type of weapon, and it was really used when people of two conflicting cities would meet with one another, and one would typically set fire to another city just to gain some authority over them. So now in modern day America, in the year 2024, as we've seen over the few years, there has been many uses of arson. One of the first being that in the 2024 Black Lives Matter movement, with protests going towards the George Floyd situation, people used means of arson as a way to riot and protest. This caused a lot of violence and just unnecessary acts of violence, and it led to be very dangerous, causing buildings and houses and people just to be injured in the process of committing this arson. Arson is considered a crime because it just instills fear into people, and going on from the George Floyd protests, like I said, it was instilling fear into people, and it was just very dangerous to the community and did more harm than good. Arson is also illegal because it's setting fire to something, and setting fire to something does not make it easily to be put out. It can spread very quickly and can get out of hand very fast, and it just needs to be handled by a professional. That's why we have firefighters and all those people. Anyways, in the state of Arizona, there are many different punishments for crime. It all just depends on the type of arson committed and whether it was in an occupied building or not. So we are going to be going over what a class 2 felony is in means of arson. So again, statute 13-1704 states that arson of an occupied structure is a class 2 felony. So with it being a class 2 felony, it has a variety types of penalties. So starting off, there is chance of probation, with prison terms ranging from anywhere from 3 years to 12.5 years. So it just depends if it was occupied or not. It could also extend to at least 23 years if the person has 2 prior convictions. Now, here's where things get a little more difficult to understand. So if arson is committed in an unoccupied building with a property value of over $1,000 that were burned during the fire, it is then considered a class 4 felony, and also has a possibility of probation after serving a prison range of 1 year to 3.5 years in prison while incarcerated. If the person has up to 2 prior convictions in the last 15 years, it could range from 2.25 years to 7.5 years, again depending on what has happened during the fire. So that is my closing argument for today. I hope everybody was able to understand what arson is, the history of arson, and why arson is considered a punishable crime here in the state of Arizona. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good day.